Restorative justice to me, healing. It was, it still is. I can't even say it was a part of my life, because it still is a part of my life. Everything I do now definitely is rooted from a restorative method into the ideologies of like finding the root of the problem. And I think giving yourself more grace, restorative justice allowed me to like understand that I'm probably gonna cry every day, and that's fine. That's just who I am. That's how I heal. That's how my body responds to most emotion. Being in an environment that nurtures that and nurtures what you need to get through just each moment. You know, it's not always about the long-term goal. It's actually very rarely about long-term. It's about now. You know, maybe tomorrow. Let's not try to think too far ahead, you know, especially once you've been through a trauma, once you've struggled with addiction. You know, you live for a moment, and it's being given the skills to get through those moments, being able to say like what you might need, identify what feelings you have. And I just think that, you know, restorative justice would give everyone, not just people who have committed a crime, you know, but like the restorative methods to our lives of like, people are hurting, you know, and people need to heal, like, and people need to understand what their feelings kind of mean, or that they're kind of justified, you know, and sitting in a room full of people who might have a commonality with you is super helpful, you know, or just are empathetic to the fact that you feel a certain way, you know, and we live in a very isolated, deal with it, suck it up kind of world, and you hear that a lot, and not as much anymore, but like growing up you did, you know, like suck it up and don't cry and, you know, things like that. And it's just kind of like the exact opposite, you know, it's like feel it and let it out. And once you connect with that, and you know, restorative justice and going to the healing lodge for me was very much rooted in Indigenous culture, but you don't feel unwelcome if that's not how you live your life, you know, like it's more about spirituality and connection to the earth and connection to just living beings, you know. So I think it just gives you a different perspective. I think restorative justice shows you that we've probably been living wrong for a very long time. A very long time. When things feel so natural and just so right, why are we just denying, you know what I mean? We're fighting against it, but that's just a society, and that's, you know, a patriarchal environment that has just instilled something in us that it should be this way. It's unfortunate.